The last shaver review I did for Remington was the virtually indestructible. That didn't go that great, and it kind of got the lowest marks I could possibly give a shaver. However, I have a more positive view of this Remington F4, which I'm going to cover today, thankfully. I generally don't like to give any kind of negative reviews. However, I've got to say it as it is and how I experience it, haven't I? I've got to be honest. In this video, I'm going to do my usual and cover the pros and cons of the features based on my experience and my views of them. I will also do a demo shave. Despite using this a good few times on various levels of growth, I'll do a demo shave so you guys can see how this performs, and then round it off with some feedback and some possible comparison shavers. And hopefully on your purchasing journey in this video, you'll get a good idea of whether this shave would be useful for you or not. Keep in mind that any of these reviews that I do, these video reviews, including this Remington F4, will also be found on my website, shavingadvisor.com. I'll drop a link in the description for that, and it's worth noting that because I can cover more details on the website, and then it's also, if anything changes, I can update that page, so that's just worth noting. I'll drop a link in the description for that, plus other links. So first things first, what's it going to cost? Keep in mind that this is a budget shaver, and in the USA it costs around about $50 US, in the UK around about £40. That's kind of the minimal that I'd pay for an electric shaver before it becomes extremely low quality and kind of tacky, but that's in my experience. An additional cost is going to be the replacement cassette. Now Remington advises that we replace this once every 12 months. Now everyone's going to get a different mileage out of this based on how often frequently they use it, plus their coarseness of their beard. But Remington advises around about 12 months. Now in the USA this costs around about $20 to replace and £15 in the UK. That's a fair price. That's cheaper than many others. So that's not a bad extra expense or a high extra expense. Now when I first unboxed it, it did not quite seem so much as a low quality as the virtually indestructible, or look quite as cheapish. However, I still don't think it looks or feels quite as solid and as high a standard as, let's say, a Braun Series 5. But the Remington R4 is somewhat cheaper than the Braun Series 5, and it's close to the price of a Braun Series 3 310, not the Braun Series 3 340 Pro Skin, the Braun Series 3 310, number 310, model number 310. It's closer to the cost of that. So the blue sides of the shaver, these blue panels at the side of the shaver, are a slightly different feel to them. So I guess this is for some sort of grip, and it does provide some kind of grip. It's not, it could be better if it was rubberized, like going back to a Braun Series 5 again. Braun Series 5 is nice and rubberized, and it's a better grip, but there's some sort of grip there. And just above the power button as well, there's some rubberized section. So this is useful for when our thumb is placed there when we're using it, so that also provides some grip. The head section provides some flex with it, so it moves back and forth. That's similar to the Braun Series 6. I keep turning to Brauns here. I know the Braun Series 6, it's Senso Flex, named Senso Flex because that moves back and forth. This also does the same, so in a way this has got a bit of a combination of a Series 5 and a Series 6 that moves back and forth, which is useful for shaving along various contours. Think about your jaw area or your chin area. Also the three shaving elements at the top of the shaver, they also flex independently, so this is useful for shaving again along the contours or maintaining skin contact. Now these shaving elements consist of two files, one file on one side, one file on the other side, and within the center we get a trimmer. This center trimmer aims to pick up flat line hairs, difficult to pick up hairs, longer hairs. That aims to do that. Removing a cassette is fairly easy. It has some kind of a imprint there where on each side of it, we just grab the sides of it and we pull it out, and I've just knocked off one of the blades, which I'll explain that to you very shortly. So yeah, that comes off easy enough. However, I do find it's slightly cheap looking, or I just wonder if after time that could wear of taking it off and on. However, I have to keep in mind that this is a budget shaver. It only costs around about $40 US, so it's not going to be quite as good quality as you know, some of the Braun Series 5 and above. I'm glad that blade just come off then, because I've just realised something. What I was going to share with you guys is that when we take off the cassette, we get left with the two cutters there. Now what I did previously was to remove these, I thought we had to remove one of them off this black the black strut or the black area, and I did not think that the whole of that come off, so I thought we had to take one of these off individually. I've seen how it's come off. See, that's come off with the black plastic thing, but at first I was taking these off separately. However, they don't need to come off separately. They can be taken off with this black plastic area. But I didn't realise that before, and that's why you just saw one of them fall off, is because I didn't put it back on properly. But I think it's good to show you guys some of the things where I slip up and try to work things out for myself. I think that's good to show that on the video, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, so if we're going to replace when we're replacing the cassette, we have to replace the cassette section plus pull off these individual blade sections, which come off with the plastic black section as well, and not the blade, just the blade alone. But if that blade does come off from that the plastic section has like it's a kind of cradle, so there's two clips within there, so when I cannot make it come apart anymore, but there's two clips in there and that just slides in there easy enough. But you do have to make sure that it's kind of clipped in, otherwise it's going to slip out like it did with me. We get a built-in trimmer, which is a pop-out trimmer, so we slide our thumb on the back of the shaver, or slide it forward rather, it'll flip out this trimmer. Of course, it's not the greatest detail trimmer, but it's useful for cutting in the sideburns, or if you have a long hair that the shaver elements won't pick up, then it can shave that off. So yeah, that's on the back of the shaver, built-in trimmer. So that's the main important features out of the way, which are kind of deal breakers, or manage how the shaver will perform. Other details, like, okay, so maybe some people they like to think about how a shaver sounds at the noise level of it. So let's compare it with a Series 5, Braun Series 5. Braun Series 5, most file shavers are quite loud. The Braun Series 5 is quite a loud one as well, so let's compare it. Here's the Braun Series 5, and here's the Remington F4. It's a little bit quieter, it's a little bit quieter, the F4, but you know it's just a lower tone. If you listen, that's a higher tone. The F4 is a lower tone, and I think it's because it's not powered as much. You know, I think there's not as much power there as what we get with the Braun Series 5. But again, as I said, it's cheaper. It's a $40 razor. Other features include around about 50 minutes run time. That's what I'd expect for a shaver in this price range, and even the higher end shavers only run for about 60 minutes run time. 50 minutes, plenty enough. We get very basic LED lights on it, and LED indicators. The LED indicators are just indicating the battery's going low. When we've got it on charge, it'll be blinking, and then when it's fully charged. So very, very basic LED indicators. We also get this blade cap cover with the shaver as well. Now, this is not only a blade cap cover, but also like this virtually indestructible. The blade cap cover has a section, the top part of it is made so if we use it when we got a longer beard, it can be a stubbler and bring it down to stubble. I've never used that, never tried it. It seems quite gimmicky to me. But you know, I don't know, maybe some of the guys get use out of it. If you do get use out of it and you think it's great, or you've tried it and it's rubbish, do drop a comment below and you know, let us know. I'd appreciate that. As it's fully waterproof, like most electric shavers these days, we can use it shaving wet and dry. I have used it shaving wet with my traditional shaving cream, whips up into a lava. However, it didn't provide me any extra comfort, any extra closeness, and there's no benefit at all. The F4 is easy enough to clean up after I've been shaving, so I just pop the cap off as I usually do. Give it a good blowout inside. You can give it a brush as well, but I just give it a blowout. That usually does the trick. Then what I do is, on top of the files, I add a couple of blobs of antibacterial soap, and then a few drops of water, a splash of water. Then I let the shaver run for about 10 or 15 seconds or so that gets well into the blades. Then give it a good rinse. Pop the cap back open, shake up a bit of the water, and it's looking sparkling clean. Then just leave it to dry for a couple of hours or so. So just before I get into the demo shave, I'll just let you guys know what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see how the shaver goes along the various contours of my face, like along the jaw area, the chin area, and then also how it maintains skin contact. I also look to see how comfortable it is. Is it comfortable while I'm shaving? And obviously see the closer the shave, what's the end result. But what's also very important to me is if I have many leftovers, how it picks up longer and flat line hairs, any sort of tricky hairs. And more importantly than that is if I do have any leftovers, any patches, where I frequently do on this area there, these areas here, the sideburns, and Yeah, these areas here, I frequently get that, and it's whether the shaver can clear them up well. And I guess speed is one of the factors that I look at as well, but it's not up high up there on the list. The thing that is more high up there is picking up all these tricky hairs, not having leftover hairs, and how comfortable it is. What I also do is, is check to see if there's any debris left. Some shavers collect debris within the top cap. Other shavers leave a lot of that debris down my shirt, so I always check that out as well for you guys. So anyway, that's what we're looking for. Let's grab myself a mirror and get a shave on. Right, I'm just over the 2-day mark here, getting up to the 3-day mark of growth here, and this shaver really prefers to be used shaving daily or every 2 days. I test it out shaving every 3 days, and it's not that great. Too many leftovers, so it's a daily shaver or every 2 days. But this is just over 2 days, so it's going to be, yeah, it's got giving this shave a little bit of work to do. Okay, let's fire it up. So we can see that it's going over the contours of the chin and the jaw area quite well. That's because of this flex, and it's maintaining skin contact very well as well. So yeah, that's good. It's fairly comfortable. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's quite a comfortable shave. That is. Shaving under the nose is a tricky area for rotary shavers. As for most file shavers, that finds it pretty easy to shave underneath there, and there's no leftover patches there. Yeah, good one there. You can hear it cutting the hair. You can hear it cutting and picking up the hair pretty quick. Yeah, it's fairly efficient. Okay, let's see where we're at. That's the main shave done. Yeah, there's quite a few patches here. There's a few bits of hair there, there's a few bits of hair left there, longer hairs. Bits there, my usual spots. And there's a few other little patches as well. So I'm going to spend a bit of time going around on them. And when I've got rid of them, I'll give you a thumbs up. Starting with here. That's feeling a bit rough now, shaving down that way. That's because that's very much against the grain for me on my neck. You know, the pattern of my hair growth is that way, so I have to shave that way to get a baby butt smooth shave. And going on there, it's quite rough. Although it's getting rid of these patches here, there's still some slight stubble left over, and I'm not wanting to go over the neck too much because it's going to cause irritation for me. But there's slight bits of stubble, and that's only when I rub my fingers against the grain. When it's going with the grain, I don't feel anything. It's when I go against the grain that I feel some stubble. Yeah, there's a little bit left there. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay, I think that's about done. I mean, I'm going to spend a little bit of time after this video and go around and see what else I've left over and see if I can pick up any other bits of patches left over, because there's going to be some that I find after. However, I don't want to go too overboard, but just because like I've said, you know, I will pick up some irritation. But that's a decent close shave. Now, how are we doing for debris left over? We have some there on my shirt. I don't know if you can see that. The light will provide enough light for it. Yeah, there's some debris there. That's not a hell of a lot, and I'm guessing that most of it, as before, yeah, it's inside there. I just watched it all fall out. Yes, it's collecting the debris inside there very well. Okay, shave done. So post shave, it's been about 15 minutes so now. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm quite impressed for the price range of this shaver, of course. There's minimal irritation there, which I'll soon get rid of when I put a bit of post-shave balm on. Yeah, I'm not feeling much leftovers. There's some slight, yeah, no, there's not. No, I'm not really feeling anything. Yeah, it's done a really great job. So I guess the bottom line is this is a comparable shaver with other shavers within this price range. You know, the Braun Series 3. Yeah, the Philips 2000 series, something like that. Yeah, so it's comparable anyway with other shavers within that price range of $50 or 40 UK pounds. Is it a shave that wows me, or it compares to the shavers that I really like? Of course not. I mean, I use shavers like the Philips Prestige, the Panasonic R5, the Braun Series 9 Pro. Of course, it does not compare to them shavers, but at that price range, $50, 40 quid, you know, you can't really compare them that way, can you? So it's yeah, maybe worth taking a look at, guys, if you're looking for a budget shaver. But do keep in mind that on longer growth, after 2 days, 3 days or so, I found it not very good, not that great. On 2 days of shaving daily, yeah, it's okay with that. Over that, it just takes a long time to remove hair, and there's a lot more patches left over, and just spend much more time shaving. But one thing I'd recommend, guys, in the description I'll drop a link there, and that link will be to a web page that I have, which is the best electric shavers that I've used over the years, and I'm always putting the ones that I rank the best. And there'll be a budget one there, the high-end ones, a rotary, a file. You know, I really weigh things up there. So there'll be a link description for that. And I think that's a wrap. Maybe I'm looking at another Remington very soon. I'm not sure. I've got a few shavers lined up. So if you haven't subscribed yet, then do hit the subscribe button. You get a notification once the next video review is live. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.